Hello and welcome to Let's Hear It for the Girl, which is hosted by Children in Crossfire. Today's event is part of the One World Festival, which is the festival for a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. And this is one of a range of events which are happening online until Friday, October 15th. The packed program includes film screenings, talks, poetry, art, and storytelling on human rights, international development, diversity, and the environment. For more information, please visit oneworldfestivalni.com. And if you're posting on social media, make sure to include the hashtag #ActOneWorld and tag @oneworldfestival.ni. So welcome again. My name is Jenny MacDonald and I work in the Development Education Department of Children in Crossfire. And I'm here with, or a version of here, I'm together with Chiku Lueno, and Chiku is in strategic partnerships and advocacy management for Children Crossfire in Tanzania. So we have a chance today to hear a bit about your work, Chiku, and particularly how your work is affecting girls, because this is, or the day that you're watching this, not the day that we are recording this, but the day you are watching this is the International Day of the Girl Child. So we're focusing in our discussion on what Chico's learning and working on in terms of girls' education in Tanzania. So welcome, Chiku.
Thank you so much, and hello everybody. Greetings from Dar es Salaam. It's quite a pleasure and honor to be able to share stories from Tanzania.
Great. So I think we were going to start, weren't we, just thinking a little bit about the barriers specifically for girls and girls' education, because I know you work in early childhood development and education, but specifically, what are the barriers that girls are facing?
The biggest one would be poverty. But then again, there are other that are related to that. Anything from culture, gender and social norms, violence, abuse, sometimes even distance. Distance from home to school, from school to home can mean that difference between access to education or not. So what we are doing here in Tanzania, we're trying to help the government and everybody else, all the wishes, to mitigate those barriers so that more girls could access quality education from the young age.
Fantastic. And I think you have a video, do you, that would share the experience of one of those girls with us?
Yes. Yes, as I said, one of the barriers could be disability as well. So let me play you a video of a girl with disability, but still has hopes and dreams, and that's so beautiful that we, as Children in Crossfire, can be part of helping her to realize those dreams. So let's play a video of Veronica.
Veronica.
Screen share.
Let's see.
Okay.
There it is. You are screen sharing indeed.
All right, so let's play Veronica's video.
Naitwa Veronica Baraka Chatanda. Na umri wa miaka 10. Nasoma shule ya Bugili wasioona. Nasoma darasa la kwanza. Nilihamia shule ya Bugili kwa sababu nilikuwa naona macho yanauma sana. Nilikuwa nyumbani wakiandika hata maandishi nyumbani ya ubaoni sioni madogo. Aliyenileta shule hii mwalimu Waziri. Nilipelekwa hospitali ya Dar, wakaanza kunipima macho, wakasema apelekwe shule ya Dodoma. Wakamwambia mwalimu, wakanileta huku shuleni. Nilipofika shuleni nikaanza kusoma, nikaanza darasa la awali. Mpaka sasa nimefikia darasa la kwanza. Kwa sababu maandishi ya huku hayaandikwi ubaoni, yapo kwenye karatasi. Fanya kupapasa. Na kingine unaandika kwenye kibao, unashika sasi, unaweka karatasi, ndio unaanza kuandika. Na matumaini nitasoma mpaka nifike darasa la 7, mpaka nipite chuo. nikifika chuo nikisoma, nikimaliza mitihani yangu yote, nitapenda kuwa mwalimu.
There, that was Veronica's story.
Fantastic. It's so nice to hear the voice of a girl, and to hear her dreams and her hopes and how the work is affecting her. And do you want to share, Chico, maybe a little more with us about the general context in Tanzania and some of the different projects and approaches that you're taking?
Okay, so let's see. Well, let me just share my PowerPoint presentation that I've prepared so that
There it is. Great. There's Veronica again.
all right.
Great.
Okay, so that's lovely Veronica, and the other girl, we'll hear her story later. So what we do in Tanzania is early childhood development, and it's actually an area that we've deliberately chosen because Children Crossfire wants to support children to thrive. And the first 1,000 days, according to evidence from credible journal, Lancet, from the World Health Organization, and all other major development organizations in the world, the evidence shows that the investment in the first 1,000 days is crucial. It is the best window of opportunity that one can invest in a human being. And the benefits of that can actually last throughout an individual's life. This is why we have chosen that specific area. And actually, the evidence is also showing that the cost of inaction, the cost of not investing in a child are actually huge. They can even affect the GDP, the economy of the country. So this is a very crucial area, and Children Crossfire is trying to play its part to contribute towards better livelihood for citizens, for girls, and for economies as a whole. And the way to go about it, again, according to evidence, is to look at that child holistically. They have to have good health, adequate nutrition, responsive caregiving, security and safety, and of course, opportunities for learning. What we do at Children Crossfire, we focus on age 0 to 3, where the children are very young, from pregnancy, that's 0 to 3 years. And then 3 to 4, where we try to work with communities to organize for play areas for young children. And 5 to 6 years, this is in the government school, in pre-primary classroom. This is where we are playing our part. Combining all those areas to help an individual in the health, nutrition, etc., it's called actually integrated early childhood development. But we also have specialized in early learning, and how we do it, it is two-pronged: direct programming in classrooms, directly in classrooms and in communities. And at policy level, we work with government ministries, we work with other civil society organizations, and we work with the media. We have journalists who are champion journalists located all over Tanzania who write specifically on early childhood development stories. And we also work with local partners, and right now we are implementing an integrated school readiness program for Tanzanian children. So this is a picture of actually a typical classroom. The bottom left there, very basic. Some schools in Tanzania are like that, and we are working with the government and communities to upgrade them to the level where you see the picture at the top. And the main photo there, you see kids happily engaging in learning with their teacher. This is what we're aspiring to. And this is a very stimulating classrooms with learning materials and play-based resources that are found in the communities that are very low cost, therefore affordable for those communities to actually equip their classrooms like that. And we help to mentor teachers to manage these young children. This is just a continuation of how we do it. The first photo is a teacher in the classroom, of course, and then we work with governments and communities at different levels, from the level of the council all the way to the level of the nation and other civil society organizations. Let me now move to the current situation in Tanzania. The gender inequality in Tanzania is not so good. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Tanzania ranks 129th out of 188 countries, and that's not so good. And that's why all efforts are needed to try to equalize this. And of course, the barriers are known, gender norms, as I mentioned before, and full participation of girls in education and women in economic activities is needed to try to equalize that. So again, one of area where you could start to make that difference is investing in young children. And here I try to show it visually. The population of Tanzania, the projection is that it will continue to grow, and this shows until 2035, and with the female population being slightly larger than the male population. And, the graph below there, the bar chart, is showing enrollment. At that level, at that age, young children, the enrollment of girls and boys is almost 50-50, girls to boys. But then again, we see that shifting. The graph on the right top, it shows enrollment at secondary level. And you see a huge drop of girls. Again, it is about the barriers. And these are the areas that we need to help the government, help community fix, so that more girls could go to higher education. And then, like Veronica, they could have a chance to realize their dreams of being a teacher, of being a nurse, of being a pilot, of being a politician. All these dreams are built from a young age. And this is the situation we have in Tanzania at the moment. And what we do, we try to align our work with global strategies, not just to survive for these children and girls, but we want them to thrive as well and transform into whatever they wish to be, but provide that base and opportunities. As you can see, these goals are actually in line with those areas I mentioned before about nutrition, health, preventing diseases, and education. All these are actually interrelated into helping a child realize their full potential, especially a girl child who in Tanzania is still lagging behind. And that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you so much, Chiku. It's wonderful. And such an inspiring vision, to think of every girl and every child being able to express and be all that they want to be. I love this idea of not just surviving, but thriving. And I guess a follow-on question I had for you there is, you touched on quite a bit on how where there is inequality, where there are barriers, the barriers will affect girls more. And I was wondering if you could say just a little bit more about why that is. Why are the barriers still bigger for girls?
You could say it's historical, but you could say it is the culture itself. The culture is very male dominated. For a good example is that we now have a female president. For the first time in this country, we have a female president. Yay! But guess what? We will be tested in 2025 when we have the general election. If she runs, she'll have to go through the ballot. And we will see if our country is willing and ready to let a woman win that election through the ballot. So there's still a challenge. This is why you saw in the graph there are more girls going to secondary education, the more boys than girls. And this is a reflection of our culture. It is a reflection of our context. And we really, really need to work on that.
Okay. I was also, thank you for that. I was also wondering, how has COVID impacted all of this? How has it impacted your work? How has it impacted the barriers we're talking about and their impact on girls?
Yeah, like everywhere in the world, of course, there was panic when COVID hit in 2020. And here in Tanzania, of course, like everywhere else, our schools were closed. Now that brought a totally new challenge, because when the schools were closed, kids went home. The government and other organizations came together and, finding alternatives to learning, and they prepared radio programs, TV program, online lessons, etc. But there was a huge, huge gap between rich and poor. It was very evident. Most of the children that we work with, the areas we work with, are very poor. Some households don't even have electricity, so forget TV, forget laptop. So we could see our children would be missing out just because of that. So we had, these problems sometimes provide opportunity to be creative thinkers. So we had to think, and again, we came together with the government and other, stakeholders to prepare a workbook, colorful, friendly workbook that we could share with communities, where any adult, a sibling, could help that young child to learn while at home. And this didn't need electricity. It did not need a gadget. So it's just a workbook and, colorings and color pencils, and you're ready to go. So this is what we do. And let me just show you another girl story of Francisca, and how her and her family received the workbook.
Great. Interesting. It sounds like with COVID, similarly to the other barriers.
Hongera mtoto mzuri, umeandika, umeweza kupanga namba 1 mpaka 9 vizuri. Sawa? Na kupigia makofi. Usipige basi makofi basi. Na wewe unajipigia? Haya tupige. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. Haya. Ilipofika mwezi wa mwaka huu, mwezi wa 3, kuanzia mwezi wa ngapi ule corona ilipoanza? Kwa kweli tumekaa nyumbani, watoto kwa kweli walipata shida. Tukashukuru siku moja kijijini tukasikia tangazo, kwa sababu sisi kuna matangazo pale kwa Agustino. Bwana mmoja Agustino pale tangazo kwamba mwalimu mkuu alipeleka tangazo kwamba kuna vitabu vimekuja, wazazi wote wenye watoto wa awali waende shuleni wakachukue vitabu vya watoto. Vitabu vya watoto wa darasa la awali. Akiwa ende na wazazi wao. Sasa mimi nasema, sasa huyu mbona mimi sio mzazi wake yuko Dodoma huko. Sasa kabidi mimi niende naye. Waenda nikakuta mwalimu yule akatuandikisha majina. Anambia kwamba takiwa vitabu hivi vimekuja kwa zawadi ya kwenu, mfundishie watoto nyumbani. Tukashukuru, tukavipokea vile vitabu, mimi niliandikisha jina langu pale. Mimi kitabu hiki kimenifurahisha kwa sababu maneno yaliyokuwa huku, maelekezo yaliyokuwa huku kwa kitabu hiki nimeweza kuyatumia vizuri kwa kuelekeza watoto wangu, kwa kuelekeza mjukuu wangu ameweza kusoma na kuandika namba mpaka 9 na mambo mengine kadha wa kadha yalikuwa kwenye kitabu hiki. Sasa nimehamasika mpaka nikaweza tena kuendelea kununua vitabu vingine ambavyo vinaweza kumsaidia mtoto. Kwa mfano hiki hapa, tujifunze hisabati, nimekinunua kwa hela yangu mwenyewe kwa ajili ya kuwasaidia, kwa sababu nimehamasika na kuelekeza kufundishia watoto nyumbani badala ya kwenda kusubiri mwalimu tu ndio afundishe. Na nikaendelea tena kutafuta kitabu hiki cha kusoma kwa ajili niendeleze tena kufundisha herufi mwambatano baada ya kuelewa kuzisoma hizi silabi herufi
Esta. U a le o sa a ta a watu viatu.
Asante sana. Asanteni. Asante. Thank you.
Yeah, so
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and it's such a creative solution. I suppose what I was saying just before the video began was that in some ways COVID, it sounds like in Tanzania, and I know here in the UK and Ireland as well, it's magnified some of the existing social inequalities. So these workbooks are such a creative solution to that.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So Chico, how would you like to see, what about the next steps? What about the future? How would you like to see this work going forwards? What do you think needs to be developed to continue to support and to promote the education of girls?
Well, our hopes are to go beyond the 3 regions that we're working in. We would like that colorful classrooms to be replicated to every classroom in the country. We have 26 regions. We currently are working on in 3 regions. We hope to reach all 26 regions, and this would not necessarily be Children in Crossfire going everywhere, but partnering with the government, partnering with other organizations, joining forces so that we all, together work towards that goal. So hopefully one day it will be quality early childhood education, a right and a reality to every Tanzanian girl and boy, and ultimately an equal society thriving together.
Let us hope, yeah, there and elsewhere. It's really a beautiful vision. And thank you so much for the work that you're already doing to contribute to that vision. And thank you for taking the time to chat today as well, and to share your work and your knowledge and your wisdom.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And thank you also to Children in Crossfire, and thank you to the One World Festival. And we hope you have enjoyed this contribution to the International Day of the Girl Child. So
Absolutely.
Enjoy celebrating girls and women today and always. And thank you all very much. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye, Chico. Lovely to talk to you.
Bye. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It was